What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another exciting video on Mr. Slagle's Mathnasium. Today we're going to move forward with advancing our drawing techniques by drawing something in 3 dimensions. In the last video, we were drawing just a regular old 2D sketch. Now we're going to take those 2D sketches to the next level by turning them into a 3-dimensional solid. So this is the piece that we're going to draw. Have no idea what it does or what purpose it serves, but it's probably important, and if it breaks, I'm pretty sure lots of things will come crumbling down and Jeff is going to get fired. So we got to make sure we're making it really solid. And then I'll go over the things that you have to draw as well. So why don't you go ahead and get logged into Onshape. And this is 3-3. We're going to create a new document. I'll title it 3-3. Make sure you put your name, Andrew Slagle. And then, that's not your name, it's mine. We're going to write 3D. 3-dimensional dimensional sketches. Super. Press OK. Let's go ahead and get started. Oh, I'm excited. We're at the new studio here in Oklahoma. Excited to move forward. All right, now remember your Alt-Tab trick for going back and forth between these two images. So the whole technique here for drawing 3-dimensional solids is really, it's like carving a block of cheese. Now I want you to imagine you take all these things that have been cut out and I want you to fill them back in. So imagine this is filled in, this is filled in, and this little thing down on the bottom is filled in. If you had that all filled in, really if it was a block of cheese, you'd have this big thing filled in too, but that one's pretty easy to cut out. So anyways, if this was a block of cheese, it would be kind of like L-shaped. You'd have this kind of L-shaped block. So what you do when you're drawing 3-dimensionally a lot of times is you'll start with this main shape and then you start taking chunks away. So you actually have to think about what's occupying this negative space here. We're going to draw that first and then we're going to go in and remove later. So you can see here this drawing, okay, here we have the left, front, the top. When I'm going into Onshape, I'm going to keep this in the same orientation. So let's see here. If we're looking at that, it says this is the left, this is the front, this is the top. So let's go into Onshape and let's kind of rotate. Okay, so there we go. Left, front, and top, which means if I'm looking at my part, this line right here is the front plane that's cutting it down the middle. And so that's where I'm going to draw. That's where our symmetry is. This line right here, line of symmetry, is our front plane. So I'm going to begin, and I'm going to start by clicking the front plane, and I'm going to press Sketch. And what we're going to do is we're going to create that basic outline. I'm going to go through and I'll hide the rest of my drawings here. Okay, and then let's take a look from the front. Great. So when I go here, we're going to have this basic kind of L shape we got going on. We're going to start with that. So first we need to know its dimensions. Looks like it's 145, and it says all dimensions are in millimeters. So the first thing I'm going to do here actually is go to my settings, change my workspace units to millimeters, press OK, and then click back into my sketch. So here's my sketch. Now it's 145 millimeters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a construction line that's half of that to get out to the endpoint. So I'll click 72.5 out. There's my construction line. Then I'm going to uncheck the construction option and come back on this line. 145. 145. Bingo. I got this nice clean dimension here to work with, and I can go in here and delete. I don't know if it's going to let me delete that other line under there. Whoops, Control Z. All right, we'll just leave it there. No big deal. Construction line. Okay, so we've got the bottom line, and I've got it centered in my document, which is what I want. So marching along, that's 145. Now we need to go up. So trace those dimensional lines back. It says that that height is 90. Coming up here, click, 90, enter, and I'm gonna actually click and drag, get that centered. And if you look at that document, you'll see that this top part is 36. All right, let's escape and take a look back. So I came across 145, you went up 90, the top 36, and now we got to come down. Notice there's no dimension written. But if you look closely, take a minute and see if you can find it. Maybe pause the video. You know that this is 90. You know that this thickness is 25. So if we subtract those two, get a height of 65. So I'm going to come here, come down 65, come over here, come up 25, and then over to connect. Oh great, look, we got this nice, beautiful, solid shape. We can drag our dimensions around. This is looking beautiful. Absolutely wonderful. Alright, so we got this shape, and that's the basic shape of our sketch, so I can press finish sketch, and we get this nice, beautiful looking L shape that is the perfect dimensions for us. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to get a little funky, and we are going to create a thickness. But the way that you do that, the way you turn a two-dimensional sketch into a solid, is by using this tool, Extrude. So I'm going to click the Extrude tool. I'm going to click into my shape, and it says, hey, which direction do you want to extrude? You can extrude to the left, you can extrude to the right. Either one is fine. It will make a solid for you, whichever direction that you choose. Now, it's a common practice, and I've kind of said this before, it's a common practice when you're drawing in CAD to make sure that your pieces are centered. So rather, if we do that, if we extend it out this way, then it's not going to be centered in our file. It's going to be kind of lopsided. We want that front plane, which is what we currently are drawing on, to be cutting it right down the middle. So rather than extend out this way or extend out that way, I'm going to drop down and choose the Symmetric extension option. So what that does is it extends 27.5 millimeters, but it kind of splits it and does half one way and half the other way. So it says that this width is 72. So I'm going to come in here and choose my Symmetric option and plug in 72, and then press OK. And we get this beautiful, and now if I make my front plane visible, you'll see that it's kind of slicing it right down the middle, which is beautiful. Okay, cool. So we've got this basic shape. Here's my drawing in all its glory. I can see it there, looking nice and clean and neat. So fresh, so clean. So now what we're going to do, let's go ahead and take a look back. We're going to start carving out those things that have been basically cut out of our L shape. I'm going to start with something simple. And the way you carve is using that same tool, Extrude. So this is a rectangle, and the rectangle is 72 by 50. So what I'm going to do to draw that is I'm going to kind of click and drag and rotate, and I'm going to click this bottom face like this, and I'm going to create a sketch on the bottom face. Okay, so I'm drawing on it currently. I'm going to select the bottom here. Now I know that that top edge is right here, so clicking on the bottom, that means that my rectangle, let me zoom out a little bit, my rectangle is right here. So I'm going to grab my line tool. I think it said it was 72. Click 72, enter, and then come down. Not that. I don't want to come down crooked. There we go. I want to come down 50. Alright, 50, and then back across and finish my shape. That's actually going to be the end of my sketch. So you'll see I've got this chunk that's kind of cut away here. I can rotate this up and get this nice shape. You can see that on the bottom. Now what I'm about to do is I'm about to take that, and I'm going to finish my sketch, and I'm going to press Extrude. Now you'll notice there are a couple options on Extrude. When I click this shape, it wants to extend, it wants to add that to the shape that we already have, which is pretty cool. But you can also select this remove option, and what the remove option does is takes that shape and cuts it away. So you can click and drag that down. But let's take a look at our picture and see what we need that removal to be. It says that right here it needs to be 6 millimeters. So I'm going to come in, click in there and press 6, press OK, and we've got this nice, beautiful cut that we've taken out of our solid. Okay, yeah, nice, pretty little cut that we've taken out of our solid. Great. Okay, what's next? What is next? I think we should do this kind of stained glass window shape here. And so we're going to do that next, which means I'm going to come over here, I'm going to click on this, I'm going to create a sketch. Let's take a look from the top view. Okay, from the top view, if I'm looking at this drawing, it says that from this corner, we're going to go 24 millimeters, and then we have a rectangle that's 24 millimeters wide, and that rectangle is 50. So we're going to make this kind of barn door shape, or whatever you want to call it. We're going to make that with a rectangle and a circle. So I'm going to draw my rectangle, 50 by 24, and I'm going to come in and draw a circle that has a radius 12 that matches up. So it'll have diameter 24, which means it'll span perfectly across this circle. Alright, so here we go. Let's do that. 24, I'm going to use a construction line because I'm measuring out to the spot. Make sure I'm in the right position. Yep. Draw that out. Draw it out. Come out this way. 24. Alright, and then click my line tool, and we get to start drawing our rectangle. So I'll draw out this way. It said I think it was 50, so click 50. Come across, click 24, come across there, and wrap up our rectangle. So we got this nice solid enclosed rectangle. And now to create that circle shape on top, we're just going to grab this, well, I guess it's a semicircle. We're going to grab that, and the way the circles draw is they start in the middle and work outward. So what we can do is we can come and find the midpoint of our line, sketch out, click to there, and then we've got this nice perfect shape that we're looking for. Now when we finish sketching, we go to extrude this, kind of angle it this way. I can click these different sections to get them all together, and we're going to select remove. Now that will, when I click and drag, that is going to cut away from that section, and we'll remove it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yep, so we can go ahead and press finish. We've got that cut, all done, ready to go. Okay, what else? What else do we need to do here? Okay, on the back, we kind of have two cuts. We have this one that's 12 millimeters wide that looks like it's a rectangle and a circle, and then we have another cut after that. So let's do that rectangle and that circle first. The rectangle is 24 from the top and 30 from the bottom. So I'm going to click on this back section, and we're going to create a sketch. Clicking here, zoom out a little bit, let's grab my line tool, and let's do construction line. We'll come down 24 from the top and 30 from the bottom. Fantastic. Let's double check that that's correct. Yes, it is. Great. Remember, if you need to change one of these things, you can always click in the dimension tool and then double click the number to retype and re-enter the one that you need. Okay, let's come across. We're going to draw our rectangle. Boom. And we'll come down. Let's actually draw another line across. Close the rectangle here, because that is going to cut away. Alright, so now let's take a look. We want to get this circle, and it says that the circle, there are two circles. There's one with a radius 30, and there's one with diameter. You can see the circle with a line through it, diameter 24. The big circle is 36 away from the right edge, and it's 48 away from the bottom. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to draw my big circle. It says it has a radius 30, which means it would need to have diameter 60. We type in diameter 60, And now I got to get it in the right position. So to do that, I'm going to use my dimension option. I'm going to click the center, click that left edge, come in and press 30. Beautiful. That doesn't look correct. Take a look one time. Oh, it was 36. Slagle, you old curmudgeon. Click in there. We're going to type 36, enter. Now I want the center of my circle from the bottom. We want that to be 48. So we can type in 48 exactly, and it's going to shift it down just a hair. So now we've got this awesome looking kind of rectangular circular shape. We're going to go ahead and remove that. So we're going to finish our sketch. Press extrude. We're going to click in the middle. Oh boy, let's press remove right now so we can make sure we're doing it right. Click there, click there, click there, and click there. And if you take a look, it says that that cut is 12 millimeters. So we can come in and press 12, enter, checkbox, looking nice. Looking nice. Look at that nice, beautiful cut. Okay, last one. We're going to click in here, create a sketch, and we want to draw a small circle with radius 12 and diameter 24. Right? That meets the same bit of information that cuts through here. So I'm going to grab my construction lines, and another way to find the center of a rectangle is to just draw the diagonals here. A little geometry fact for you. That'll put us dead center. So then we can grab the center and work our way out, typing in 24 for the diameter, and we get that circle. We can now finish sketch, and we've got this beautiful circle that we can use to punch a hole. Alright, let's do that. Extrude, remove, click the middle, and if you know you need to go all the way through, you can just drag it all the way through, and it doesn't matter the depth. So now we've got this awesome shape we've created in all of its glory. Okay, I want to show you one. Let me show you your assignment here and what we're going to be, what you're required to do. So in your assignment, you get to draw any two of the following. You're going to make sure your units are in inches, but I want to go over how these are measured. When you're measuring the height of this, you measure the gaps. Don't measure the tick marks, right? This is 1, 2, 3 inches tall. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 inches long, and 1, 2, 3, 4 inches wide. So if I were to draw this, the first thing that I would do is I would draw, imagine all these cuts are filled in. I would draw this kind of basic U shape, and then I would use the extrusion to get this thickness, okay? So draw the basic U shape, use the extrusion to give you the thickness, and then go through and cut out this and cut out these two holes. Okay, with this one, make sure you're counting. They're not all the same widths. This one's a little narrower. When you're coming down here, I would draw this kind of basic, looks almost like a castle shape, coming around and down, and I would extend that out. Excuse me. It's important to note that the wide gaps are 1 inch and each of the small gaps are 1/2 inch. So up here at the top, this piece is actually it's 3/2 inches or 1.5 inches wide here. It's 1.5 inches tall right there. It's 1 inch here. So each of these is 1/2 inch. Remember, you're counting the spaces, not the lines. You can choose any two of these that you want to draw. And you're gonna have to make sure your circle's in an appropriate situation, so on and so forth. If you notice here on number 3, these edges are rounded. That's a 3-dimensional fillet. And the way that you can do that, although it is not required on the piece that I drew, if you want to round an edge, you can click like this and then change the radius of the circle that's rounding that edge. So you can click and drag to make it a little bit wider if you want. Or click and drag back. Let's go back to 5 millimeters. That would be pretty good. So go over there, we can press, hey, I'd like to keep that rounded. Maybe you want to round this to, oops. Let's keep that 5 millimeter rounding going on. And you can even round these interior edges like so, okay? So lots of cool stuff going on. You can make nice rounded edges. The one that's given there, you're rounding these 2 front edges. All right, so yeah, I hope this was a cool video. Hope you dug it. Hope it was helpful, and really appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time.